Stop 21 at Talladega on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to the ever-exciting Talladega Super Speedway, the final plate race of the season. As we are here today for the running of the DieHard 500, we are set for 29 laps on this racing. Here today on this 2.66 mile high bank tri-oval. Speeds upwards of 200 miles an hour is in order here today. And here's the starting line for today's running event. On the pole, it is the number 10 Tide Ford of Mitchell Collins, who's on the pole. I think it's his first pole of the season. He'll be alongside car 24, Kyle Matthews, two-time winner so far this season. His wins came at Richmond and again at Pocono, the first race at Pocono, I should say, too. Second row, Sky Cummins at number 9, and he'll be alongside Cole Deaver, the winner at Texas this season, and number 3, GM Goodrich Chevrolet. Third row is Paul Minnick in 77 and number 25, Johnny Gardner. Then it's Jay Jefferson, car number 1, the Penzel Chevrolet. And Nathan Hudson, number 31. The Lowe's Chevrolet. That's the fourth row. The fifth row has Phil Parker, who nearly won down in Pocono, the last race on the tour. And Joshua Osborne, who won the race at North Wilkesboro this season, the first Union 400, and number 99 XRS SKF Ford. Then it's William Brock, number 4, in the Kodak Film Chevy, and Matt Haas, who won at Rockingham, in number 18. Next row down has Zach Winkle in number 97, a former Talladega winner himself, and Emmanuel Hartnett in number 11. Next round has number 20, Brandon Parker, and 55, Henry Sanford. Next row after that will be car number 75, Jesse Turner, and number 30, Shane Lake. Next row down will be Nathan Orman in number 40, and he'll be alongside Keith Batson in number 88, who nearly won at Pocono, as well as the last place we was at Daytona. Next row down, Jordan Lopez in the Valvoline SenPower Ford, car number 6, and he'll be alongside Dylan Young, two-time winner season, in car number 2. His Penske teammate Rob Evans starts the inside of the next row down. He'll be in the Mobil 1 Ford. And the number 26 car, Brian Brommer of Cheerios Betty Crocker Ford. Next row down is James Henry in 33 and number 90, Quentin Moore. Next row down after that would be car number 44, Mike Becker, and Marcus Sachi in car number 21 in the Citgo Ford. Next row down after that would be car number 66, it is Zachary Fitzwater in the big Kmart Ford, and he'll be alongside car 22, Dylan Poteet in the Caterpillar Pontiac, who won the season at Bristol. Next row down, Chris Dalton, the defending champion at Talladega in the 60 Power Team Chevy. He won the season at Darlington and at Auto Club, and he'll be alongside car 36, Kev Shearer, who won at Martinsville. Next row down is 16, Julius Anderson, and number 71, Alex Miller, who's really been on a tear with some solid runs here today this season. Next round after that will be car 42, Charles Samper in the Bell South Mobility Chevrolet, who won the last time we on the tour race on the tour at Pocono, as well. And beside him will be the lady who won the race before that at New Hampshire, as well as two others at Sonoma and Atlanta, Jessica Shelton. Next round has number 28, Kat Batson in the Texaco Haviland Ford. Car 28, and she'll be alongside Seth Cole in 45. And starting shotgun in the field will be Joshua Collard in 43, and number 23, Adam Flickinger. So that's your field for today's race here at Talladega Super Speedway. Our in-car cameras today will all be carried by Ford drivers. All of them today. They'll be carried by Dylan Young, Keith Batson, and Joshua Osborne. Those three will be carrying our in-car cameras in today's event here at Talladega Super Speedway. This track, of course, a lot like Daytona, the last plate race we were at on the tour for the Pepsi 400, and that ended up being an exciting finish in that race with Dylan Young taking the victory. We've had 3 plate races so far and 3 different winners, with Rob Evans winning the Daytona 500, Dylan Young winning the Pepsi 400, and Johnny Gardner, who's going for the Talladega Sweep. He won the Winston 500 the last time he was at Talladega. He's going for the Talladega Sweep, as I said before. Penske swept Daytona, so we'll see what happens here. Here comes the command to fire him up.
3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engine.
Pole speed for the event, 195 miles per hour. And Talk about your fast Talladega race we're going to have here today. Field rounds off pit road. Now you remember the last Talladega race where we did, which was on the Talladega 93 track that we did, that we ran that race on at Talladega for Winston 500. Well, unfortunately, that was a valiant try, but the track didn't quite meet our standards. Besides, we had a kind of a derp on the when they exited pit road, so there's a bit of a how should I call this? Kind of a glitch on pit road as they exited pit road when about to enter the track. We actually had a dust up that caused us to go an extra pace lap. I think it was an extra pace lap. If not, it was pretty darn close to it. But anyway, so we kind of scrapped that for the moment and decided to go with this version of Talladega. This is Talladega 1997 we're doing here today. Nonetheless, we're going to see some pretty good racing here today at Talladega Super Speedway, as we always seem to. Mitchell Collins, his only win in the Castrol GTX Cup Series has been on the plate track. That came 2 seasons ago in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. So he knows how to get it done on the plate tracks, and he, unfortunately for him, sits way back in the points coming into this very event. Kyle Matthews, he has a plate win himself, but not at Talladega. His only plate win came in the Daytona 500 last season, in season 22. Pace car up on the pit roads. They're getting ready for green flag racing here. The start-finish line would be right about, let's see, it would be right about here if this was Daytona. But rather it's at the entrance, it's at the exit of pit road as the field comes off of the start-finish line. Green flag waves. And boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys and girls. Kyle Matthews tried to get the jump on Mitchell Collins coming on the start, but that was not to be. They're side by side. Paul Minnick, meantime, goes to the low side. He's a former Talladega winner himself. He goes 3 wide for second place as they begin to fan out here at Talladega here as they go into turn number 3. And look at this view. 3 wide, about 4 rows deep as they come off turn number 4. Scott Collins almost slides right up in the Kyle Matthews, but he's managed to slide in front of him. And the start-finish line, Mitchell Collins leads the first lap. And look at this 4 wide racing here. That's Jesse Turner, Joshua Osborne, Nathan Ormond, and Kyle Matthews. And actually make that James Henry now in the 33 cars. He looks to the low side of the track as they come off turn number 2. Matthews squeezes in between Osborne and Cole Deaver as Phil Parker takes the lead in car number 5, leaving Collins to the low side. Here comes Brandon Parker. He's going to make it 4 wide for the lead. This is only lap 2, guys. What in the world is going on here? And Parker gets up to the high side. Orman looks to the low, and he fails. And now here comes number 33. That is James Henry. They're going to come to the start-finish line. Brandon Parker leads lap number 2. He gets his 5 points for the lead for leading a lap. And now 3 wide, several rows deep now as they go into turn number 1. And James Henry's going to take the lead with Mike Becker now to second. And remember, I said Charles Saber started way back in the back of the field. He and Collard both. And they're already past the middle of the pack. Same can be said for Rob Evans. Same can be said for Seth Cole. He's about in the middle of the pack as well himself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're talking about right there. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're talking about here at Talladega. You know, one driver can lead one lap, can Could be back to about 20th place the next year, and by contrast, one guy who can start 40th could be up to challenging for the lead the next, and Joshua Collard, who started 39th, is already going for the lead on lap number 4. So Collard started 39th in this race. He's already taken the lead right now, and here comes Rob Evans, who started this race, I think, back about 30th or so, and he's going for the lead himself. And here comes Seth Cole, Alex Miller, Jessica Shelton. Oh, brother, this is going to be a wild race. I can about feel it in my stomach right now. This is going to be crazy. Rob Evans out in front, car number 12. He already has a plate win this season. That came in the biggest of them all, the Daytona 500. And anyway, this is the same setup he had in the 500 for this race here, except Talladega is a slight bit different. Seth Cole to second position now. Here comes Alex Miller to the low side. Shelton peaks low. She's going for second place now, number 94. She looks low on Miller and Seth Cole. Marcus Sachi to the low side in 21. Kev Shearer in 36. And as well as 18 of Matt Haas. And now 3 wide to the low side. Kev Shearer in 36. The man who won at Martinsville about back early in the season. He shoves Evans to the high side, goes for the lead. He's got it. They are averaging 187.5 miles an hour in the first 5 laps of this race. Last lap by for the leader, Rob Evans. His last lap was 192.614 miles per hour. Here comes Brommer, Ryan Brommer, who almost won the 400 last sprint race on the Tony. He's going for the lead now in 26. And by the way, Quentin Moore holds the fastest lap race so far at 195.405, and about what they qualified at, too, for the pole. Here comes Poteet, 3 wide for the lead. He, Julius Anderson, and the 26 of Ryan Brommer, and Poteet leads that lap. They're 4 wide for about 4th spot. Oh my goodness, this is not going to end well here. And here's the man going for the Talladega sweep here, Johnny Gardner, 25, the Budweiser Chevy. As he looks slow, and he's going to take second place. Takes it from his buddy Quentin Moore as they come off turn number 4. Poteet still holds the top spot for the moment. Here comes Batson, going to go way down to the low side. He and Nathan Hudson both. Here comes Gardner for the lead on Poteet for at the tri-oval. On board with Keith Batson, car 88. And my perhaps is jumping all over, but I don't know what's going on here. In the turn number 3 to go here, Batson to the low side for the lead. And oh, we got big problems come off turn number 4! A bad crash! They're going to come to the line. Kyle Matthews is going to lead him down to the start-finish line. And he leads that lap, and he'll lead him to the caution flag on the 9th lap of this race. And I saw Rob Evanson crash. Here's Kev Shearer in 36. He's crashed. Ryan Brommer, Quentin Moore is in it. Orman's in it, I think, in number 40. I'm not sure if he's crashed or not. Let's see. There's Charles Samper, Shelton, Parker. Yep, I see damage to Samper's machine. I think Shelton and Parker may be clean. I think they are on this side. I'm not sure really. But only one way to find out, and that's by replay and see what happened off the fourth corner at Talladega. And it happened about in the middle of this pack of cars right there. Let's go to the copter view. This view almost never lies. They're making a big push to the low side right there. Just before Kyle Matthews was getting ready to go for the lead on Keith Batson. Sanford goes low side, hits Dylan Young. And there's where everything broke out here. There's Orman spins, Sanford spins, Quentin Moore, Kev Shearer. Yeah, Shelton clipped the front end of Orman's car, looks like. Marcus Sachi and 18 of Matt Haas are mowing the grass a little bit. There's 5 of Phil Parker. I think he's got some damage on the side of his number 5 Kellogg's Cornflake Chevy. Let's take a look at what happened in real time. So the big one's already taken place on the 8th lap here at Talladega Super Speedway. Dylan Young has one of our 3 in-car cameras. Let's take a ride with him. Oh, wait, I need a game crash on this. Dylan Young did an amazing job keeping that car off the wall. Amazingly enough. And here's how to miss a crash with Joshua Osborne. Well, as the old saying the saying goes, boldness can produce fruit, and that pretty much describes the 99 team without question on that one. Three cars are out of the race here. That's the 26 of Brommer, the 90 of Quentin Moore, and the 36 of Kev Shearer. Kev Shearer had a header failure on his machine, but all intents and purposes, that's actually an engine failure. A header is part of the engine, where the gasket, the rocker arms, and a lot of other stuff are on the race car. And that, unfortunately for Kev, failed on his machine, so he's out of the race, along with Quentin Moore because of a crash and Ryan Brommer because of a crash. Green flag will fly once again here on lap number 13 here at Talladega. Here, Kyle Matthews lead. Second is Nathan Hudson. Third, Johnny Gardner. Fourth is Keith Batson. And fifth is Cole Deaver. Now Gardner looks low to the track here, and he takes second place away from Hudson. So Hendrick Motorsports first and second for the time being right now, but there's still plenty of racing left to go. This is lap 13. We have still 17 laps of racing left to go here at Talladega. Keith Batson for second place, and he's got it coming off turn number 4. And here comes Poteet to the low side. Shane Lake is in there. Julius Anderson in 16. Side by side to the start-finish line, and it's going to be number 24, Matthews to the lead. And Shane Lake will push Batson up the track as they go into turn number 1. Jimmy Dean's also just Pontiac getting a good run here today. That's Shane Lake in the 30 machine. Shane Lake has never won a Castrol GTX Cup Series event, and he hopes to do so here today. And here comes number 4, William Brock to the low side, the Morgan McClure Racing Chevy. Jordan Lopez, number 6 to the low side. There's 77. That is Paul Minnick. Here comes Lake to the low side. He's going to take the low side of Matthews' car. He's going to leave Matthews hung up to dry slightly, and Shane Lake leads his first lap of the race. Another 3 wide for the lead. Here comes William Brock to the low side, and he's going to take the low side and take the lead. So William Brock, car number 4 to the top spot. And now they're all in there together right now again here. Rob Evanson looks like he's going to get the push from Chris Stourton in car number 60. This time by completes the halfway lap, 15 down and 14 to go here at Talladega Superspeedway in the DieHard 500. Rob Evans out in front, car number 12. He has, as I said, he has a plate win the season that came in the Daytona 500. He also won one of the other crown jewel events, the 600 at Charlotte. Backstretch, here comes Cat Batson, 28 to the low side. Osborne to the low side, number 99. Goes for the lead, and he's going to take it into turn number 3. On board, Joshua Osborne's car. Remember, Osborne avoided that big crash that happened to him on turn number 4. And the strange part was that, as you heard on the replay from the in-car, barely even let off the throttle of that car. I mean, basically Osborne had that never lift attitude, and that's why I said boldness produces fruit sometimes, and that was the case for him. And there's the eye of the storm right there. Here, Hudson, Dalton, Gardner, all stuck in the middle of the track. Or the middle of the lane, I should say. Pretty much nothing you can do at Talladega except just stay there and hope for the best. But a lot of times it's easier said than done. Low side, here comes Jay Jefferson, car number 1 to the low side, and he's going to take the lead in the Pennzoil Chevy. Jefferson scored his first ever Talladega victory, in the Castrol GTX Cup Series right here at Talladega 2 seasons ago, if you remember. And here comes the pole sitter, Mitchell Collins, car number 10, looking for second place, and he's got it. Poteet's in there, number 22. And don't look now, but here comes that 94, Jessica Shelton. Shelton comes in this race the points leader, and she's recovered amazingly after just barely tapping the front of Nathan Orman's car, and there's no damage to the 94 machine. And it pretty much shows right there for Shelton that she's now challenging for the top 5. And that was close to the line between Jefferson and Collins. And it was Collins who, and actually it was Jefferson who led that lap just barely. And problems on turn number 2. Upside down's Emmanuel Hartnett. Kyle Matthews is in the crash. Hudson's in it. There's Sachi in 21. Osborne 99. This time he didn't miss it. Seth Cole's in the crash. There's Zach Winkle in number 97. I mentioned James Henry in number 33. He's got some damage to his machine. Mitchell Collins came by and led the lap. And there's the car that flipped, Emmanuel Harden. That's caution number 2 on the afternoon at Talladega. And here we go. Another one of those 4-wide situations that pretty much resulted in disaster. Osborne and Hudson lean on each other, come off turn number 2. This happening on lap number 19, coming for 10 laps to go, by the way. Matthews pushed up the track right into Hudson's car, and it was basically, here we go. Gardner's involved. Shane Lake, I think, got a bit of a slight piece of it. Look at Sachi's car right on top of Emmanuel Harden's car. Oh my goodness sakes! And Harden goes upside down, and Sachi does a nice 1.5 tumble. And Osborne goes right into Harden's car, nowhere for him to go. There's the damage to the machine of Matthews, number 24. And Matthews was in the top. Matthews was second in the point. I think second or third in the points coming into this event. So this is going to hurt Kyle for the in the points. Osborne also was 6th place in the standings coming into this event as well, so on board with Osborne. It's amazing to me with Osborne slamming on the brakes like he did to try to avoid them hitting Hartnett's car, though, that he didn't get rear-ended neither, so... But perfect depiction of how scary it can be at well over 195 miles per hour. That's how they got. And I do want to mention to you. I mean, it looks like they're running about 65, 70 on the interstate, though. But this is real right there. I mean, we're talking 195 miles per hour. So you can tell there's a lot of damage to these race cars, as you saw those 2 crashes with one come off turn 4 and one come off turn 2. Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, Jesse Turner, Marcus Sachi, Nathan Hudson, Joshua Osborne, and Emmanuel Hartnett all knocked out of the race because of that crash. So they joined Kev Shearer, Quentin Moore, and Ryan Brommer as all the drivers out of this race here today at Talladega so far. And that is a grand total of 10 cars so far out. And I don't think we're done yet. The caution flags has slowed the average down to just over 127 miles per hour so far. Gonna get the green flag here on lap number 24. We will have 6 laps to go at Talladega. Mitchell Collins leads. Second is Poteet. Third is Keith Batson. Jessica Shelton fourth. And fifth is Cole Deaver. As we said, Mitchell Collins' only win came in the series came on the plate track in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. So he knows how to get it done on the plate tracks. Question is, can he hold off the snarling pack of cars? And that includes several of the best in Poteet, Batson, Shelton, Deaver, several others, and some of them very hungry drivers. Here comes Batson, low side for the lead, or for second place, excuse me. Jay Jefferson's hungry for a win. Jordan Lopez, he's never won a race in this series. Low side of the track. Here comes Lopez. To the low side. Here comes Batson. Switching back and forth on the start finish on the tri-ovals. They thunder in the turn number one once again. Batson to the lead with 5 laps to go. Down the backstretch they come here. Fords. There's several gaggles of Fords in this pack of cars here. Lopez to the low side. Car number 6. Here comes Shelton to the low side of 94. And give a call to Mike Becker. Car 44 to the low side. This is the first time we talked about him all day long. He's going for 4th place. There comes number 77. That is Paul Minnick to the low side. And that threesome snakes down low. Batson, Lopez, and Shelton. Four laps to go. Minnick up the 4th position. And how about Brandon Parker in the 20 car? He's up to the 5th position now in the number 20 machine. Bill Parker to the low side, number 5. Damaged car and all, he's still going for it. Shane Lakis up there, 12 car. That is Rob Evans. Here comes number 20. That is Brandon Parker to the low side on Paul Minnick. Batson come by the lead, lap number 26. We have now 3 laps to go. What's Lopez and Shelton gonna do? We have a possibility of the first time winner here in the form of the 6 and the 20. And here comes Jordan Lopez to the left side. He's gonna bring Shelton with him in the 94 car. Off the 4th turn they come. The start-finish line. They'll have now 2 laps to go. This time by Brandon Parker to the low side, number 20. Shelton throws the block on him. Parker to the low side, number 20. 2 to go. Jordan Lopez, car number 6, the Valvoline Ford. The Snarling Pack trying to catch him. Lopez knows he's a sitting duck for the moment. Here comes Fitzwater to the low side, 66 to the bottom. And here comes the Snarling Pack here. Poteet's involved in this pack, as well as Dallerton, Deaver, Cat Batson, car 28 to the off the turn number 4 to come. And they're gonna fan out here, Deaver. And oh my gosh, they're going to be 4 wide there for 2nd position. White flag waves. 1 lap to go at Talladega. Let the shuffle begin. Here we go. Jordan Lopez, car 6. Can he hold them all off 1 more lap? I don't know if he can or not, though. Deaver, right there behind 2nd position. Here comes Deaver for the lead. Cole Deaver, car number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevy, jumping into the low side of the track. They go through turns 3 and 4. They come here. Lopez to the high side, Deaver to the low side. They're side by side on turn number 4. Batson to the low side. Here comes Cat Batson. They're going to be 3 wide to the line. They're going to be side by side. Cole Deaver, Cat Batson side by side, and Cat Batson wins the DieHard 500. Another unbelievable Talladega finish, and Cat Batson, the Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 28, goes to victory lane, and poor Cole Deaver got snookered in the last few hundred feet to the line. As many moves we've seen off that fourth turn, though, you knew it was bound to happen. Sooner here, as they come to the start-finish line. Let's check the results for you here. Kat Batson wins. Cole Deaver finishes second. Third goes to Jordan Lopez. Fourth to Shane Lake. A great day for him. Fifth to Chris Dollerton. Sixth position will go to Johnny Gardner. Mitchell Collins seventh. Eighth will go to Sky Commons. Ninth to Dylan Potey. And Jay Jefferson comes home in 10th position, averaging 132.647 miles per hour because of the two caution flags. And what a race it was as Kat Batson gets her first victory of the season. And she couldn't have picked a better place to do it than Talladega. So 21 races are in the books, and we have now 13 races left to go on the season. And boy, we're getting down to the nitty gritty in this race for the championship, as things are getting pretty interesting right now. Rest of the finishing order for you here today. Zachary Fitzwater comes home in 11th. Brandon Parker with a great run, finishing 12th. Phil Parker 13th, no relation to Brandon. 14th, Paul Minnick. 15th, Keith Batson. Jessica Shelton drops to 16th. 17th, Mike Becker. 18th will go to Joshua Collard. 19th, Zach Winkle. And Matt Haas comes home in 20th. Julius Anderson, 21st. 22nd will go to Dylan Youngs. Adam Flickinger, 23rd, in car number 23. William Brock, 24th. 25th will go to Alex Miller. Henry Sanford, 26th. Charles Sanford, 27th. 28th, Nathan Ormond. And James Henry is the last car on the lead lap in 29th. Rob Evans will end up finishing in 30th. The cars out of the race again: Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, Jesse Turner, Marcus Sachi, Nathan Hudson, Joshua Osborne, Emmanuel Hartnett, Cab Shearer, Quentin Moore, and Ryan Brommer. All of them except for Cab out of the race because of a crash. Cab's problems again was a header failure, but for all intents and purposes it was an engine failure on the M&M's Pontiac. Margin of victory, 73 thousandths of a second at the start-finish line. And boy, let's take a look at that race to the finish once again between Batson and Deaver as they came to the line. First it was Deaver who ganged up on Jordan Lopez, passed him going into turn number 3. We thought it may have been in the bag for Deaver for his second victory of the season, but nope. It was Kat Batson who came on like gangbusters in the last few hundred feet to the line. And here was that finish right there. Batson made it 3 wide to the line. Batson got the draft she needed right there. Pulls ahead of Deaver and wins it by about that much of the line. So Batson by about a car and a half over Cole Deaver. And there's what it looked like right there at the line. Yeah, that's about what it looked like in the line there. We had almost 3 wide for third place right there between Jordan Lopez, Chris Dollerton, and Shane Lake. As we said, it was in that order. It was Lopez 3rd, Lake 4th, and Dollerton 5th at the line. So that will do it here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Congratulations again to Kat Batson, her first victory of the season as she wins the DieHard 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got inter races, we got gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for his channel. And be sure to check out our other NNSCRA offline series, including the Duracell Cup Series, the Boaster All Pro Series, and the Marvel Studios Cup Series. Be sure to check those series out as well. You will not regret checking them out neither, and I guarantee you they're a whole lot better than what I have to offer. Anyway, so on to Indianapolis, which is next on the tour for the Brickyard 400. For now, this is James Colson. This has been a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. We will see you at Indy.